Action.
Hello.
Hello, can you go?
Hello.
Hello, can you go?
Hello.
Hello. Is anybody there? I've no glasses on.
No, there's nobody here yet.
That's sad days.
Sad days, sad days.
Just you and me forever in eternity.
Yay.
Please come and join
Keep
us.
going, we're letting more viewers know
It's
you're
just us two here.
And that's the way it's always gonna be.
Because nobody loves us. Everybody.
Charles keeps telling us messages, we're notifying viewers.
Come on, viewers.
Come on, somebody. Yay.
Come on down.
Hello.
Hello, if anybody's joining us. I don't have any glasses on, so I can't see.
Two of your friends.
Gary will need to
Alive.
keep an eye on that. Welcome to our live.
Mrs. Barb joined.
If anybody's joining us, I am Diane.
I'm Gary.
And this is Indigo Blue Star.
Indigo Blue Star. Hello, Mrs. Barb.
Hello, Mrs. Bar.
Remember you for the last time.
I've left my glasses on even deliberately because I get distracted when the comments come up. So I thought I'm just going to keep myself really focused. Totally focused on what I'm here to do.
and what that is we don't even know yet.
We don't know. We're just coming on live, so we got the call to come on live and just have a little chat, a little spiritual chat, ascension chat. So we are...
The weather's amazing.
The weather in Mexico?
Oh, aye.
Oh, do you want to see?
Aye.
Mum will take these outside. Or take you outside. I don't know how many people's here, but this is our garden, if you like. There you go. So that's the garden. There's the pool, shared pool. There you go. It's a beautiful day in Mexico. That's our wee house. That's Gary. Yeah, I don't know if I can get the sun. If I can show you the sun. How do I show the sun? That way. There's the sun.
No.
Hopefully you can see that, just bringing through some sun codes. Don't know if there's anybody here, but if there is, there's the sun.
There's the sun, there's the sun.
And this is what it's like in Mexico. It is, what time is it, Gary?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. So we just did a live call there, and we just felt called to come on and check in with everybody. Yeah, it's beautiful here. There's our cat as well. How do I show the cat? Say hi, Eden. You're on TikTok?
She's doing it.
You're on TikTok.
Yay!
You're not interested?
I'm interested.
So welcome if you're joining us. It's beautiful here. So we're just coming on live to do a little, we just get a little call, a little nudge to go live. So we were just going to have a bit of a chat about, whatever. If anybody's got any questions, anything they want to share, anything they want a bit of clarity around. What was coming into our awareness was just from work that we've been doing recently and people we've spoken to that are on the spiritual path is about like falling into repeating cycles of behaviour. So this is something that we've noticed on our own journey as well, that sometimes when we are working through some kind of consciousness, if you like, and clearing timelines and releasing
Hi, Estella.
aspects of ourselves that don't serve us anymore. Hi, welcome in. And reclaiming aspects of ourselves, we can fall into these repeating patterns of behaviour. So for myself, something I've noticed is I fall into this pattern of wanting to eat badly when I'm going through like a shift and I'm clearing out a lot of kind of darker timelines and consciousness, and I'm going through something. I get into these patterns of wanting to eat like not so much junk food, but just want to eat things that I know aren't good for me because I'm very, very sensitive and I react to a lot of food. So I've got a lot of gut issues through my lifestyle. through years of using painkillers and stuff like that as well. So my gut has got a lot of adhesions, I've got a lot of food sensitivity, so I really thrive when I'm eating well and, you know, when I'm juicing, when I'm fasting. And what I find is sometimes when I'm working through some stuff, if I'm going through a bit of a shift and a clearing energetically, I start to get to crave foods that aren't good for me and sugar and that kind of thing, and I get into this pattern of eating not as healthy. And what I've realised through my own experience of doing that is sometimes I'm clearing out programs of addiction or mind control, or, you know, not having, we all have aspects of ourselves that have been mind controlled in this timeline, but also in other timelines and realities as well, where we've lost our sovereignty and we've been mind controlled at the mercy of others and other forces. And what I find is when I'm clearing this out of my consciousness and reclaiming these aspects of myself, I can revert back into those patterns of like not having that full control over what I'm putting into my body, or, you know, what I'm eating. And this is something that just came into my awareness, and something else that came into my awareness was around, you know, we have so many templates of mind control, and, you know, we're programmed, we're conditioned as well, and a lot of times when we revert back into these patterns of behaviour, be it eating or drugs or drinking or whatever it is, for example, it can be that we're actually, that's why we're in that cycle, because we have templates of mind control in our field, we have mind control implants, we have aspects of ourselves and other timelines that are still being mind controlled. MK Ultra is a big thing as well on this journey. So it's something we've been working on extensively the past few weeks, clearing out timelines of mind control, coercion, manipulation, and sometimes when you're doing that, and you might be doing this unconsciously as well, this is the point we wanted to make, sometimes you're doing it unconsciously and you don't realise that that's what you're actually doing, that you're clearing multidimensional consciousness, but you fall into bad patterns again, or bad habits, and you fall off the wagon, and it can be that you're basically dropping into that field of consciousness again, and it's,
thanks, Margaret.
It's coming up for thank you for clearing, but when we're unaware of that, we don't know that that's what's happening. So what we do is we just keep repeating the same pattern. We'll eat well for so long, we'll be good to ourselves, we'll look after ourselves, and then bam, we're back in that cycle of self-abuse, not having unconditional self-love for ourselves. And it's not that we don't want to love ourselves and nurture ourselves and eat well, it's that something, a force, an energy reversal is working against that. And this is something that's thank you for the rose. I've no glasses on, so if I don't reply to your comment, that's why. I can't see.
No.
I see blurs. So something that's come into our awareness recently is that can be why these things are happening. That can be why you go into these cycles of behaviour where you just keep, you feel like you're in a loop. You're getting so far and then you're getting pulled back. You're getting so far, you're getting pulled back. We need to be looking deeper. We need to be looking on a multidimensional level. We need to realise that we're multidimensional beings, and there's a tiny fractal of our soul within this human incarnation, and there are fractals of our soul within many dimensions of time and space, and some of those timelines we are being mind controlled, we are being manipulated, we are being MK Ultra'd. When it comes into your reality that you have no control over whatever aspect of your life, whether it be your eating, your drinking, taking tablets, partying, porn, whatever it might be, there is an aspect of you that is out with your control, and that's why the pattern is repeating, that's why the cycle is repeating. And we've just really been going deep with this ourselves, because what I've started to notice is when I revert back to these patterns of poor eating, and even then it's still quite healthy eating, because I can't eat pure junk food, I would be in intensive care. But obviously being in Mexico, they've got beautiful tacos, they've got nachos, they have tacos with everything, tortillas with everything, nachos, and even just like eating those, getting into that habit of eating those took me into a cycle of feeling really unwell, getting stomach flare-ups again, which I've not had for a long time, feeling like lying in bed for a couple of days, unable to move, and just craving shit, craving sugar, want to eat loads of sugar. And so when I tuned into this on a multidimensional level, I was shown that this is me clearing out templates of mind control and addiction that are in my field. So when you become aware of your own behaviour, and you start to analyse that behaviour and you start to look at it on a quantum level, that means a multidimensional level, you can actually find out the root cause of where that behaviour is coming from, and you can work to alchemise it in the quantum field to clear that consciousness out so that you're not repeating patterns of self-sabotage, if you like, self-sabotage, or reverting back into patterns of behaviour that don't serve you. So that's a message that was coming through for the collective around that, and something that we've heard other people speak about, that they're they were doing really well, eating healthily and feeling really good, and then they've just flipped back into that kind of self-sabotage pattern of behaviour. And you want to be looking at the deeper cause, because we're multidimensional beings, so you want to be looking at, the energy reversals in your field. What energy reversals are there? What other aspects of yourself are playing out in opposing consciousness that's keeping you stuck in this loop and cycle of behaviour? And when you work on a quantum multidimensional level, you can reverse anything. You can reclaim your power. We broke free of addiction, mind control, negative attack, negative infiltration,
demonic attack,
loss of sovereignty, like mental health issues,
bipolar, ADHD,
so-called ADHD symptoms, all of these things that we have experienced in our own reality throughout our journey, we have reversed by working
health, as well, illness,
poor health,
all of these things.
So we've managed to reverse all of these things by working multidimensionally and working in the quantum field, and combining that with working in our physical health, our emotional health, our spiritual health. So when you work as a quantum master, when you become a quantum master, you can quite easily find the source of these energy reversals, find the source of these timelines and templates of mind control, MK Ultra, that are actually keeping you stuck in loops and patterns of behaviour that don't serve you, and get you out of that self-sabotage patterning, because that's what it is. It's an energy reversal in your field, that every time you take a step forward to break free of that programming, of that control, the energy reversal is pulling you backward.
Hello, Margaret.
Hello, Margaret.
Hello to Orkney as well. That's got Margaret's in Orkney. I think it's the same Margaret. I've always fancied Orkney, but I've never been.
Too.
I also got about the what happens is as well. It's like it's a collective experience when these things are happening as well. So it's not just necessarily your own. So, like, there's timed incidents around the world, certain things that are created to keep the collective stuck. So when there's millions of people that have been mind controlled to always feel hurt, pain, fear, anxiety, worry, all of these things with certain incidents that are going on in the world. These things are timed to coincide with the raising of the frequency of the planet, the raising of the frequency of the collective. So there's millions of people who are still MK Ultra, and basically that when these things happen, the whole fear-based trauma response to that from the collective is reverberated, is the word I'm getting, to the ones who are on their path and who are stepping up and stepping into their power. And that's when you start to alchemise the collective consciousness of these incidents and these fears and these anxieties and these worries of the collective. And it's all about transforming what it is that your MK Ultra, that transforming that back.
Some comments on this live were filtered to prevent the community's experience.
So that so that you don't experience these things anymore, and you can start to work through these things for sort of the collective consciousness for your own highest and greatest good.
So MK Ultra, it's basically, I won't go into it too much on the live because it's filtering some of the comments, so sometimes TikTok doesn't like some of the topics that you're talking about, but it's a type of mind control where you're basically brought to the edge of insanity, and then a kind of rescuer comes in, a handler comes in and shows you some, love and affection, and comes in as the rescuer type, but they actually become like a handler, so they're part of that control system, and then they will start to mind control you again. So it's a specific type of mind control. You can look it up.
It's a bit like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
High low.
You develop a kind of connection to your handler, if you like, because they are coming in as a saviour at times when you really need it. So
it's the same idea as what happens on a global scale. So that's what I'm saying. So with these incidents and stuff and things that are happening in the world, there's a problem, action, solution. So it's like the problem, reaction, solution. So it's the same idea. So the problem was created by certain beings, if you like, and then there's a reaction from the collective, and then they come in as the saviour, even though they've already planned every part of that, because they know, they harness the energy of the reaction, and then they come in with the saviour, and as everybody's like, yay. It's like, for instance, you're just this is just a kind of small instance, for like your petrol, the fuel, the crisis with the fuel went away up, and then they bring it back down a wee bit, and everybody's like, oh good, we've saved money, but really they've actually put it up. They've just done it on purpose, is to put it really up high, so that then they come in with it halfway between where it was and where the highest point, and everybody thinks that they're the saviour. They think, oh, they've done us brilliant here. That's mind control. That's on a global scale. This is how they do it, and it's simple, and they do it with everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many aspects of it in daily life, you know, it's through the media, through the radio, through lyrics and songs, through everything. We're constantly being programmed and controlled. But I suppose when we're talking about, you know, certain patterns of behaviour repeating themselves, and you find yourself unable to get out of these loops of behaviour that doesn't serve you, that can be coming from another aspect of your consciousness that is trapped in this, you know, being an MK Ultra victim or a mind control victim. So this is stuff that we've learned through our own journey, that we've been clearing out, that we've been alchemising, and we do it for the collective consciousness as well. But we got the call to come on and share to people, like, when you do feel that kind of powerless way, and like you don't have any control, and you feel like you're getting somewhere, you're maybe eating healthier, you're going to the gym, you're feeling good, and then it's like bam, you've lost that control and you're back to square one again. This can be where this comes from. It can be coming from timelines, other aspects of yourself, fragmented aspects of your soul that are stuck playing out these timelines of MK Ultra and mind control. But you can look up MK Ultra yourself, but it's something that has been going on for thousands of years. It's partly how they control, how anti-life forces control us, how they manipulate us, how they disconnect us from our God consciousness, from our connection to source, and how we forget our divinity, how we forget how powerful we are, how we forget how many gifts, how many abilities we hold. There's many aspects at play and energy reversals around our natural way of being and our natural DNA template, our natural angelic human DNA template. So there are many reversals around that in the field of consciousness and the quantum field that play out in our everyday reality. So when you experience, you know, this loss of control, very much a loss of control, look at it in a multidimensional perspective, and that's what we teach people in everything that we do. You know, if we're working with people, we're mentoring them in our containers. Everything in the physical world has a multidimensional component that you need to be connecting into in order to clear that out of your reality permanently. You can't just work in the physical, you need to work on a multidimensional level. And for myself, addiction was a big part of my experience, and it's that cycle of, you know, you break your addiction and then you're,
feel good about it.
I don't want to say clean because I don't even like that word, but like you break your addiction and you're sovereign for so long, and then boom, something just comes in and you're back and you're repeating the same behaviour and pattern. And what I've learned, my addiction, you know, didn't come from running in my family like they like to tell you, although it does run in the family, but that's another story. My addiction came from MK Ultra and timelines of mind control. So I was being mind controlled in other timelines and other realities, and I was holding a lot of mind control implants and templates that were taking away my sovereignty and my ability to make conscious decisions and choices, and allowing for other forces to come in and do that for me. And they were controlling me to keep repeating this behaviour. And why? Because they don't want me to step into my power. They don't want us to step into our power as women, as divine feminines, as goddesses. They don't want twin flames to come into union. They don't want us to realise all the power that we hold, all the gifts that we hold, all the keys, all the codes, all the knowledge, all the wisdom. So there's so many energy reversals to prevent us from stepping into our true power and who we truly are. And mind control and MK Ultra is a huge part of that. And yeah, just through our own experience, we wanted to share that when you are experiencing, especially if you're on this spiritual path and you're on this ascension journey and you're finding this is coming into your reality, that you're reverting back to old patterns of behaviour that don't serve you, you know, you're going back to eating poorly, or, you know, drinking alcohol or taking drugs or whatever it might be, but you had that moment of clarity and you had that moment of sovereignty where you were in control, and then it was just away again. You need to start looking outside the box. You need to start looking in the quantum field. You need to start looking at other timelines and aspects of yourself that are being mind controlled and are experiencing MK Ultra. But MK Ultra happens on a massive scale every day, as Gary said.
That's right, Simone. That's like just like Simone. It's just like being a slave. That's what it is. It's basically MK Ultra. It keeps us dumbed in, keeps us stuck in these repeating patterns, and that's the thing. Like everything, people think everything just these things, all these disasters and stuff and all this just happens. It's just one of these things in the world, but they're more unnatural than natural. They call them natural disasters and stuff, but they're very unnatural. That's the thing, and like people are just, we're so mind controlled to believe everything, and it's a global scale, and we're breaking free from that, and this is what happens. They'll keep bringing these things up to keep people in that mind control, because remember that it's all about breaking your soul, fragmenting your soul. So all of these things will keep fragmenting your soul all the time. So if nothing happened for a couple of years and everything was sweet, people would start to come online again. People would their soul would come back, the fragments would come back, they would start to grow again, everything would be alright. But then that's why things happen like at regular instances, like intervals. That happens because they know people will start to get to that stage again. Like as if you're coming to addiction, you're doing good and stuff, and and then boom, there's another wee thing for you that it puts everybody back. So it's all about disconnecting as well from the collective consciousness with this. So it is, and this is how we do it, because that's how they do it. They basically do it on a multi-level, a massive level, a global level. So when the collective consciousness is overwhelming the ascended consciousness, it's still keeping us in that loop, and this is how we detach from it. It's all about detaching and going into the quantum field, and going and looking at the bigger picture, and then totally detaching from it there and closing it down and leaving it at that.
And also soul fragmentation. So soul fragmentation is what happens through trauma, through, you know, certain things can catalyse it. It can be childhood trauma, it can be even a remembrance of, you know, being shamed in your childhood or feeling guilt, or shouting, your parents arguing. There's so many different things that can cause these soul fractures and soul splits and trauma, relationship breakdowns, bereavement. And what happens is the more your soul fractures, the more fragmented you become. First of all, the more portal of entry there is for other entities to come in and take over your physical vessel. But the other point of that is the more fragmented you are, the more damaged you are. And the more damaged you are, the more likely you're going to be diagnosed with certain things, and you need to watch the wording. Diagnosed with certain things and receive treatment for that and things like that. So it's like this fragmentation of the soul, the constant trauma, the constant doom and gloom, the constant negativity, the constant just devastation that we're the suffering that we're bombarded with on a daily basis is part of that soul fragmentation process. And it's to grief, loss, everything. It's about it's about fragmenting as much as possible so that people are unable to be in that wholeness and maintain that connection to source and divinity and to who they truly are. So the whole system is designed to fragment our soul. And a wee example of this that I noticed the other week is our son, he's 16 and he applied for an apprenticeship with Arnold Clark, which is a car company. So he applied for this apprenticeship and he felt everything went well, and then he got an email. And it just basically said you have been unsuccessful in your application. And it was the wording of it. I just thought about it and I thought, what kind of community or society, when a 16-year-old is going for an interview and they're going through that process, what deems it in any way acceptable to just tell them you've been unsuccessful? Why are we telling our young people you're unsuccessful because you haven't secured a position? When really, being successful has got nothing to do with whether you secure a job at Arnold Clark. Being successful
it's about living your best life.
Yeah, and it just really got me thinking.
Loving yourself.
That even putting it into the children, because it's there's no jobs, so, you're not going to get a job, there's no jobs, there's thousands of people going for the same job, and then you go for the same job, you feel like you've done well, you feel like you get good feedback, and then you just get hit with this, you've been unsuccessful, and that's the wording of that is in your mind, and then that starts to get you thinking, I'm not going to get a job. I've been unsuccessful, I'm not a success.
There's no point in trying.
Yeah, why should I keep trying? I'm never going to get anything.
I'm never going to be a success.
And
success is a big thing.
These are examples of this negative agenda and this negative programming and
negative wording,
mind control, to start to program you to think you're less than, that you're unworthy, that you're not capable. And they're doing it to our young people, they're doing it to our children, they do it to us, they do it to everybody in society, and it's all part of a bigger agenda to fracture your spirit, fracture your soul, because if you are a fragmented soul, you are not as powerful, you're not standing in your power. So when you do find, the whole point of this kind of conversation was, when you do find that you're going into repeated patterns of behaviour that don't serve you, eating, drinking, drugs, alcohol, whatever it might be, and you just know, I've went back the way, I've went back into that loop, that cycle, you need to be looking at the root cause. You need to be thinking, are there other timelines I need to be working on around mind control, around MK Ultra? Are there implants I need to be removing? Do I need to work with somebody to get some assistance around this? Because it's another thing I see, and this is controversial, but I feel I can speak about it because I've experienced addiction, but I see a lot of power being taken away by people who are getting into programs for addiction. And I think if you go into a program for addiction and it helps you beat your addiction, I think that's fabulous, it's amazing. But what I don't resonate with is that you're a lifelong addict. You're an addict forever, you're an alcoholic forever, and you can't ever touch another drink or substance because you don't have the power to control that. So how have you reclaimed your power then and your sovereignty if you've got to live with that mindset for the rest of your life and think, any day now I could just pick up a tablet or a drug or a drink.
You're basically counting the days, because people say, oh, I'm 2 years sober, 3 years sober, 4 years sober. People are always, you're always reverberating that, you're always bringing it back, you're always saying like, and that's the thing. It's not about, it's about like, how do we move on, and how do we, and these things can be like Diane saying, it can be the mind control, still mind control again at the end of the day, because it's controlling your mind to think that you're still less than. You still can't do all this yourself. You still need to keep going over it and keep remembering it. And both of us have been there to an extent. So, and this is the thing, we've conquered these things.
Yeah.
And I don't look back and think like, I was that kind of person, or like, I'm happy that I don't even think about it anymore. I've just moved on in my life with these things. I've just moved on, and that's it. It's just something I'd done at the time. It's the way I was, and I don't do it anymore, and that's it. And I see it as a total win on my behalf, because it doesn't even affect my life anymore. It doesn't even come into my reality, and I don't like to speak about it or anything. I'm not like to say, this is, go over it and over it and over it, because you're just stuck in that loop again. That's an MK, that's one of their loops.
Thank you to you for your beautiful service as well.
You're welcome. And that's the thing, we get stuck in loops, with everything. It's like with grief, everything, and it's been programmed into us forever. That we need to grieve forever. We need to be like stuck in that emotion, and like, why can't we just move on with our lives, and why can't we just accept everything, and just everything that happened a second ago was a second ago, and it's like, let's move on, let's enjoy what's in front of us, let's love what's in front of us, let's make every step we take, it's a beautiful step up the way. It's not like, we'll go up and then we'll go back down, and we'll go up and go back down. And this is how we need to disconnect and break these programs from these kind of. And that's the thing. We've all been MK Ultra. We've all been and we're all, and a lot of us have broke free from that. And breaking free from the MK Ultra is like we're saying. It's about releasing all these traumas, releasing all these emotions, releasing all these feelings, regaining total like abundance for yourself. It's all about where you're going forward. It's not about keep going back. It's alright to look back sometimes, look over your shoulder, but never go back. And it's like, because it never repeats. Write your new story, rewrite your story to this beautiful, beautiful, amazing adventure that you're going on in life going forward. We don't need to keep getting over it. I was in this, and I don't like that about people when they say about, you're an ex-addict. You don't need to say you're an ex-addict. It's like, you don't need to say you're an ex-anything. It's like you're just a person that done something. It doesn't, and it's like, people get chastised a lot as well for being addicts and whatever. People don't realise what it is that they're being traumatised, where the traumas are coming from or anything that's causing people to do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is MK Ultra again. This is the thing. We've got this MK Ultra implant in us to make us be addicts. People think it's like something that comes in generations, and it is like the generational ancestral curse.
That's what we were talking about, because they're saying addiction runs in families, and I carry the addictive gene, and addiction does run in families because it's the same patterns of trauma and program and mind control that run through families as well. So I had addiction in my family, but the more work that we've done in ourselves, the deeper we've gone in our spiritual journey, we've been able to go to like the cause of these kind of curses, if you like, black magic that's running through the family, poverty curses, addiction curses, and being able to look at what we call like the miasma, the ancestral miasma that runs through our field of consciousness. So of course it's going to run through your family. It's not that you both carry an addictive gene, it's that the mind control and the programming and the anti-life energy reversals in the field of consciousness and the ancestral lineage that you've incarnated into all hold these same patterns, and it's really up to us as the curse breakers, if you like. We need to get to the root, and that's the message we really want to get across today. It's about getting to the root. So healing, as we know, is done in layers and layers and layers, and quite often you can revisit the same things over and over, and you can be like, all right, I thought I'd worked on that, but I'm back to it again. What we've realised is it's all coming from the energy reversals that are part of the wider field of consciousness, our wider field of consciousness, that are in our different templates that we hold. There's energy reversals that are working against the natural frequency that we embody when we're connected to source, and when we're receiving that source downloads and information. There are energy reversals that are working against that, and that's where these repeated cycles of behaviour and action come from. It's not that there's anything wrong with us, it's not, that we don't have, we're not strong, that we don't have willpower, because I always knew I was strong, and I used to think, like, I'm a strong person, so I don't understand why I keep repeating these cycles of addiction. And now I know it's like I was being mind controlled, and that there's aspects of my consciousness were fragmented.
Shadow work is essential.
I wasn't whole, I wasn't unified, I was disconnected from source, I had lost my sovereignty. Other beings were working through me, energies that were telling me to keep doing the behaviour. So it's like, it's complicated, but you can regain control. You can regain control by working on a quantum level and by analysing your own behaviour, your own actions, and analysing these cycles and loops, because really healing doesn't have to be done repeatedly over and over and over. We don't have to keep going over the same stuff. What we need to do is we need to actually get to the root. We need to get to the energy reversals, and we need to reclaim the aspects of our soul that are still playing out that experience and that lower consciousness, because that's why it keeps coming into the physical reality. Once you actually reclaim that and embody it and integrate it, and that is why shadow work is so important. But again, you need to do shadow work with knowledge and awareness that you're doing it to reclaim aspects of your soul, so that you're clearing and closing and alchemizing this consciousness. You don't want to have to keep going through loops of healing and loops of trauma and loops of shadow work. When you get to a certain level of embodiment and wholeness, you're able to tap into these things in minutes. You're able to just you feel it, scan the field, alchemize it, move on,
disconnect.
You don't have to be reliving your traumas. You don't have to be like experiencing all the emotions all the time. Sometimes we do have to purge it through our physical bodies, but let's do this smarter.
Yeah, multidimensionally,
yeah. Let's remember how powerful we are, and all the knowledge and wisdom that we hold to be able to alchemize this consciousness, at the source.
That was a big thing for me when I learned that it wasn't just on this level, and it was a multidimensional level. So when I started on my journey, and I was in a bad way, I had loads of illnesses, I had sepsis and all these things, I had loads of problems going on with me, I had all sorts of health issues, everything to do with the gut, urinary sepsis, urinary problems, I had esophagus problems, you name it, everything you could possibly imagine. I was basically rotting out for the inside, and I didn't realise that, and I was also taking drugs and stuff, and I didn't realise that it was basically on a multidimensional level. So when I started my healing process, and on the kind of health side of it after the sepsis and stuff, and I started to do healing on myself, and then I had my awakening, and that's when things took a massive twist. Once I started understanding that I was being attacked and things were coming from a multidimensional level, it wasn't just on the physical form. That was just showing me that what I needed to work on, that was coming from the multidimensional level. So when I started to go in and work on timelines and work on these things and work on demonic beings who were attacking me, and toxic people, and toxic families and all these kind of things, and just everything, once you start to go on the multidimensional, it's not just about what's in here in your head, it's actually what's in around you in this quantum field, in this morphogenetic field of ours. And it's all about it totally transforming your life at every level. That's the thing. It's not just about transforming your physical, it's about transforming it and then get into the multidimensional. And I know, it can sound very, very difficult, but I wasn't into these kind of things. I wasn't spiritual at all or nothing. It was just through my own healing journey that I had my awakening, and this is when everything started to come online and started to come into my awareness, and that's when Diane helped me with this as well, and how to work in the multidimensional, how to work in the quantum field, how to understand it, and how to disconnect, how to go back and check and review timelines and close things down, ancestral patterns, ancestral curses, all of these things, and addiction things, all of these kind of things, and how to go back and change it all. And that's when things changed in my life totally, and that's when it's like I say, I don't even, that part of my life is as if it never existed. It doesn't even, I don't even, it doesn't come into my reality anymore, because I've worked on the multidimensional level.
Because we went to the root, that's the thing.
Right to the cause.
So, Louise, thank you for sharing. So you're saying you've been clean a year and it's hard, especially when you deal with toxic people. So what I was saying about that word, I don't like that, being clean, because it implies that you're dirty in some way. So just think about the wording of it. But the other thing is dealing with toxic people as well. So you need to look at the wounded aspect of you that feels powerless around these people, because the thing is, when we're very sensitive, when we're empathic people, we pick up an energy, we pick up an emotions, and sometimes that's why we use drugs in the first place, or substances. It's because we don't want to feel. For me, that was certainly what it was. I felt too much.
It numbs us out.
I didn't want to feel, so that was why I numbed myself, so I didn't feel. I didn't know I was doing that at the time, but that's obviously why we're not taught about our empathy or sensitivity, so we just look for coping mechanisms, don't we? But what I feel with yourself is there's an aspect of you, like a wounded aspect of you, as an empath, as a sensitive soul, that is still being affected by the energy of others. And when you really reclaim your power and your sovereignty, other people's energy can't affect you. So it doesn't matter how toxic they are, it cannot affect you. So if you're being affected by toxic people around you, you need to go within and see where that's coming from. Why are these toxic people coming into your reality? You know, why are they treating you a certain way? What is it bringing up in you? So you're finding it hard to remain in your power, your sovereignty, because of toxic people. So again, that can be multidimensional. It can be that there's these people,
timelines,
you've got other timelines with them and other realities, and when they're coming in and you're finding that energy and you're like, oh, you know, they're putting me on edge, they're making me uncomfortable, or whatever it is, it's because there's multidimensional work that needs to be done around it. Everything in the physical reality has a multidimensional component that we need to be working on, and this might sound, you know, but how do you do that? Or it's something you need to learn. And it's tools, it's techniques, it's activations, it's opening up your channel so that you can receive, so that you can tap into other realms of consciousness. But we're so traumatized and mind controlled and MK Ultra that most people, they don't realise that they have these abilities, because in order to have these abilities you need to be able to activate your light body, and your light body is what enables your soul to move in and out your physical body. So when your soul can move out in and out your physical body, you can tap into other realms of consciousness. But when you are traumatised, when your soul's fragmented, when you're not whole, when you're using drugs, when you're addicted to stuff, when you're not looking after yourself, when you're in bad relationships, whatever it might be that we all experience, that keeps you stuck in this physical body, and you think that is all beyond you.
Exactly.
But in reality, it's our natural state of being, it's our natural way of being. It's like we just need to get all the shit out the way that's actually preventing us from remembering and also connecting into our higher consciousness, and knowing that we can all do this work, and everything has been set up to reverse the energy around it, so that we do not tap into our own power and our own, reclaim our sovereignty and reclaim control over our life. So even these toxic people coming into your awareness are part of that.
Aye.
They're coming in to
Your lessons.
to throw you off, to make you feel uncomfortable, to feel like you're powerless around them, like their energy's more powerful than yours, and you know, it makes me feel like I want to numb myself or whatever. It's like we need to reclaim our power on all levels, and working in the multidimensional field is, in our opinion, working in the multidimensional field and the physical field is how you do that, and that's how you become a master, and that's how you take control over every situation in your life, every experience. You're no longer powerless, you're no longer fearful, you're no longer feeling weak, you're no longer, because you know that you have the power to go in and alchemize whatever's coming at your awareness. Doesn't matter what it is, you have that power.
Exactly.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Claire was saying, can you give 3 tips on where to start?
On,
How to do this?
I've never heard it like that, yeah. Hates it because I look at the education system. Yeah, you're all taught, yeah, we're all programmed, aren't we, in all aspects of life, and that's education. Even employment, like I was a nurse for 20 years, and for 20 years I thought I was helping people, and for 20 years I thought, you know, that my empathy that I had, that felt the need to work with people, took me into that profession, and I felt like I was helping people. And when I awakened and I just realised that I'd been programmed, and that all nurses are programmed. We're programmed through the education that we receive as nurses, the same as medical professionals. It's all programming. University is just programming. And when I awakened, I realised, I was like, I was just programmed to believe those things. I was programmed to believe that that was the right thing to do for somebody in that situation. And I awakened to the whole farce of it all and the illusion of it all, and realised, like, I've just been programmed to behave in a certain way and to do certain things, you know, believing that I'm doing good. So the programme continues well after school, you know, if you get into secondary education or even in the workplace, you know, certain rules, certain protocols. This is the way we do things. This is why we do it. This is the best way. This is the guidance. All of that. It's still all protocols. It's still all programming. You're still not using your free will or your sovereignty to make decisions. You're following protocols. You're following guidance. So it's all programming. It's more programming when you get into the workplace, and that's how, when I'm talking about my son and he didn't get the job and then the unsuccessful letter, I was like, that's them beginning to program him to make him think he's unsuccessful in life and he's not going to be successful.
Because he never got a job. He's unsuccessful because he never got a job.
Oh, Simone, that's too kind. Don't worry, you don't need to send us anything, just being here is enough, your beautiful energy. But yeah, that was what I thought. They're starting to program him now and get him in that mindset of, you know, you're unsuccessful because you didn't get a shitty apprenticeship with Arnold Clark, where you're going to be working fucking 40 odd hours a week, where you're going to be getting, you know, minimum wage. You're unsuccessful. And it just got me thinking, like, it's up to us to like speak out and educate our children, our young people, and to be speaking out about this stuff, to be speaking out about this programming that goes on, and this like negative agenda of making us feel worthless and making us feel like shit, because they want to fragment our souls so that we don't step up and become the masters that we came here to be. And what you're saying, Melanie, about social work, yeah, there's no need for it. No, you're right. And that's what I've realised through being a nurse for 20 years. Like, when I awakened, I was like, everything was just an illusion. It was just a program.
So that's exactly it. It's to keep us stuck again. Mm-hmm. This is the thing. We aren't free when we've got to. That's the thing. Like, if you left school at 16 and you went right into the NHS without going for any qualifications or anything, and somebody just took you on board and just taught you hands on. And I think they do it in South Africa. In South Africa, I'm sure I've seen a programme years ago, and it was about like the doctors. Basically, when people come into the emergency room, they've got junior doctors, and this is how they learn. They basically they treat the people hands on, and this is really early on in their doctorate. And there's a doctor there, and he basically overlooks them and he'll step in if he has to, and basically they're just hands on, because that's the way we learn. But we're so intelligent, we don't need, but our intelligence is taken away from us from the system that we are part of, and it's all about breaking free from the norm.
And it's, yeah, when you're saying you're a child residential worker for 18 years, and yeah, that's it. And that was why I left NHS, because I awakened to the truth. And when I awakened to the truth, you know, in my heart and soul, I just couldn't keep being there. And I worked with many beautiful nurses, and a lot of them are aware of this as well, but they're stuck there, and they're like, oh, we know, but
Stockholm syndrome.
We know this, but, and I'm like, well, if you know that, how can you still do it? Like, you need to get out of that organisation. We're not going to change the NHS and social work, and these are matrix organisations that are set up within that dimension, within that reality. We're not going to change them, but what we can do is change ourselves, take our power back, and begin to create a new earth.
Regroup.
Yeah, begin to create, you know, things for young people, for the community.
It is happening.
That are, you know, vibrant, and that nurture them, and that, you know, that tells them how beautiful they are, and how talented they are, and how gifted they are.
Tap into their multidimensional gifts and
reminding
abilities.
them that they're multidimensional beings, yeah. And
they are all gifted children.
That's up to us as light workers, as, you know, ascension guides, as spiritual beings. It's up to us to change that. We're not going to change the matrix. We're not going to change the matrix, and that's not what we're here to do. We're here to create the new. We're here to create
change
the new,
ourselves.
the new earth. We're here to change ourselves.
Unprogram ourselves. Disconnect ourselves from the programming, the MK Ultra programming, and all of these things, the traumas. And if people actually, like, when you think about it, like, a lot of the traumas and experiences that we go through in life are out with our control.
Yeah,
are always out with our control. It's not necessarily ourselves that put ourselves in these traumas. Okay, there's accidents, and there's things, and there's like grief and all that, but all of these things are put in place for us never to ascend to a certain level, never to become millionaires of our love, millionaires in abundance. And I don't mean like the money sense, I mean millionaires in every other aspect of our life, because money's just another tool that's there to control us as well, and there as an MK Ultra tool as well, because it's like, oh, if you've not got money you can't live, and it's another trauma related device that's used on this journey. And we're slowly but surely, it's actually speeding up a lot now. There's a lot more people coming online, like, just through what's happening in the world, and people are seeing beyond it, and it's an amazing time to be alive. And like Louise was saying, like, she's clean, and after a year, I mean, this is when we should start to congratulate people like yourself. We should start to applaud people like yourself for getting out of that matrix, and that's what you're doing. You're breaking free from the matrix. It's not necessarily just the addiction. You're breaking free from what caused the addiction in the first place, which is the matrix. This is what's happening. So you're breaking free from it, and you should be applauded for breaking free from it. And the next step is the multidimensional. Meditate, protect your energy, move away from toxic people, all of these things. Start working in your own multidimensional being, and this is your spiritual connection, your God source.
Reclaiming your sovereignty from wherever it's been taken from you. And just want to answer this, so El Cordy, I can see crazy pink lights when I close my eyes at night. Does this mean anything? Have you had this? So I feel it means your third eye is activating through your pineal gland and your third eye and your clairvoyance. So when your third eye is activating quite often, you can start to see colours and visions, etc. So I feel your third eye is activating and opening and expanding, and the pink energy feels very angelic. Like a very angelic frequency that's coming in. So sometimes when people sense energy, they might feel the energy, they might just know it's there. You're actually getting a vision of the frequency through your third eye. So it's very positive.
Aye, and it's also got to happen in stages, remember. So they're basically showing you, like, and then once you start to investigate a bit more, and you start to look at things and maybe go and research things or watch videos and on YouTube or whatever, and you'll start to see people speaking about certain things will start to activate in you, so that it'll start, everything starts, like for me it was basically I seen like a spirit, it was like a golden like spirit thing in my living room, and I started doing meditating and stuff, and I started protecting my energy and all of these things, and then I would see these kind of like signs, like it was like things coming down, like coding, it was like coding coming down, like basically like the film The Matrix. I would start to see things like that while I was sitting, and start to other things like that, the colours would start to come in, and this is how it all starts. This is your awakening. This is all part, because everything's got to be done in a gentle. You can't just fire in and throw everything into one time. Although some people do get that because they're ready. But it's just to show you that you are a multidimensional being.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like, and it's now down to you to start working with that and seeing, right, okay, when you're going to sleep at night, ask for more clarity on it. Okay, what is this pink light? Show me more. Only for my highest and greatest good. And that's the kind of things you do. And when even just sitting, you don't need to go to your bed when you're doing it. Just sitting in yourself and getting into a short meditation, doing a bit of breathing, short meditation, and saying, okay, give me clarity on what this pink light is. And remember, you hold the power, and that's what it's showing you. It's showing you about how you take your power, how you step into your power, and that's what they're just giving you a snippet of. This is something that you need to investigate.
Yeah, it's your higher self. Remember, it's not there. It's your higher self. So everything comes from within.
It's your remembrance.
It's a remembrance of who you truly are, and you'll get what you're ready for, as Gary said. So when you get these signs, these symbols, and this goes for everybody, like if you're starting to see things or feel things or sense things, or definitely do that. Ask for more clarity. Why am I seeing this? What does it mean? I'm ready to receive more. You know, I'm ready to open up to my gifts, to my abilities. You need to communicate. It's a relationship as well. So very much on this journey, developing your gifts and abilities, it's a two-way street. It's not just that you get given all the information, all the keys and the codes. There's certain aspects of your soul that you need to reclaim, remembrances. It's a bit like we like to refer to it as a computer game, where you've got to get through the levels, and on each level, or as Ellie likes to refer to it, Indiana Jones. So you've got to pick up the nuggets along the way, and there's certain trials and tribulations that you need to get over to get to the next level, to get to the next level of the game. It's very, very similar. I mean, it is a simulation experience, and when you become aware of the multidimensional aspects of consciousness that are controlling this simulation experience, this physical reality, you become very powerful, because you start to realise, oh, okay, this is happening in my reality, I don't quite like that. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to go into the quantum field. I'm going to go into the multidimensional aspects of it, and I'm going to alchemise the energy around it and the frequency around it to create what it is I really want to experience in my reality. And we all have that power. It's not just certain individuals. No. We all have that power, but not everybody awakens to the fact that they have that power. Not everybody gets out of that matrix control system, that mind control, MK Ultra kind of traumatising, fragmenting, suffering human experience. And that's okay. That's their journey. That's what they're ready for at this time. But you know, you can't, just because some people are in that experience, it doesn't mean we all have to stay in that experience suffering together. Why don't we all try and work on ourselves, ascend, become the highest version of ourselves, get more knowledge and wisdom to come back and empower others and activate others through our frequency. Let your frequency do all the work.
Yep.
That was a lot of words.
Mm-hmm. You're right, Simone, but a lot of people don't even realise they're awakening.
Simone.
Nearly do, a lot of them don't even realise they're like that, and they're awakening. I don't even know, I was going to say something and I forgot.
Because they're in that...
Something's through me.
Yeah. Because they're in that matrix, like we said, they're in that matrix system and that system of control, so they don't ever awaken to their true remembrance of who they truly are. Sonic the Hedgehog as well. That's what you do. You go about like Sonic and you pick up your your little keys and your codes, and that's what we're doing in this journey. Every part of this journey is about soul reclamation. It's about hi Claire. It's about
hi Claire.
Reclaiming aspects of yourself that have fragmented and got stuck in these other dimensions of time and space, and that you're playing out, and then you don't necessarily know you're playing it out, but this is why we're sharing about this. When you have these repeating patterns of addiction, self-sabotage, bloody, one minute you're eating amazingly well, you're feeling healthy, you're exercising, the next minute you're sitting eating 40 bars of chocolate. These are all examples of this kind of mass mind control and loss of sovereignty that everybody experiences on some level. Everybody experiences it. It doesn't matter how awake you are or how connected in you are. Everybody has experienced this at some level, and it's about breaking free of these programs of mind control and MK Ultra, and becoming whole, becoming unified, becoming powerful,
yourself,
sovereign, and obviously we're here in Mexico, and we came here because we were guided to come here. And we knew that it was part of our mission, and we knew that we were going to create something as part of our mission. But we've come on this journey since arriving here. We've ended up on a much deeper healing journey. And that started with doing the whole life coach course again when we arrived, and then our physical health. So this is the other thing, 20 years of addiction has taken its toll on my body. I've not been in addiction for 8 years now. I don't drink, we don't take drugs, so I've been clear of all of that for many years, and I don't crave it. Doesn't even enter my mind unless I'm doing timeline clearing and stuff like that, and it'll maybe come into my awareness then. But what we're doing now is we're actually, for me especially, reversing the physical damage that I've done to my body through my behaviour, through this mind control, through this loss of sovereignty. I've got adhesions in my gut, I've got food sensitivities, what else? Basically my gut is my main issue, but I've got a lot of issues there. So since we've come to Mexico, we've went in this really beautiful...
Your ankles.
My ankles now are playing up, because as I'm starting to heal, the energy's starting to move.
About the body.
Your
traumas are starting to release.
So different, it's going to different areas in my body, and we're lucky that Gary can do both non-surgical, so he does body work on me. We've got energy medicine here that we're using. We're using the cardio med beds. I've got Cellsonics. I've been posting all of this on TikTok. If anybody's interested in this, you can have a look on TikTok. We share a bit more about it. But we're on this journey of, we're not just reclaiming our spirituality or aspects of our fragmented consciousness. We're reclaiming ourselves. We're reclaiming our physical health. We're removing any control over our physical health that makes us want to eat shit that's not good for us, that makes us not want to exercise, that makes us not want to turn our body into a temple, because we've been through that much trauma and this mind control, this coercion, these energy reversals. We've been through so much of that it's affected us on a physical level permanently, and that's what we need to be aware of. It's not just about doing spiritual healing or emotional healing. It's about all of these traumas are in our body, these mind control, everything we've experienced
Emotions.
is in our body. So if you've had years of addiction, that's still in your body. Even just stopping the behaviour, it's still going to be there. Years
traumas,
of
the emotions are
binging
tied
on
to
food, eating loads of sugar, all of this stuff's still in our body. So this is what we've been guided through now. We've been a physical reclamation of our mind, body and soul. And we're using cardio med beds.
That's right,
Simone here, so
we use them.
We live in Ixtapa.
We use the Cellsonic machine as well.
Ixtapa, Mexico, so there is a clinic, if you like, here, the Doc of Detox kind of healing centre. And they've got the med beds, and they've got other energy medicine and stuff like that. So
loads of good energy medicine.
nutraceuticals. So all of that is part of what we're doing to heal.
The nutraceuticals are amazing, and that's what helped me through my healing journey from into back to health.
Yeah.
And ever since I started taking them, it took me a good year to get, maybe over a year to get back to health after the sepsis and stuff, and after all my ailments. But the nutraceuticals were like a big massive part of that. So they were transforming my gut, healing my esophagus, healing all these acid reflux, all these things, and urinary problems, and the nutraceuticals are a massive, and I still take them. I still cleanse my body every day with these nutraceuticals, although I don't need a lot of them anymore, and coffee enemas and all of these things, and just eating fruit and vegetables and taking smoothies, and it's all part of the healing. But the nutraceuticals are a massive help, because they take out the heavy metals, all the toxins, all the crap, the parasite cleanses, all of these things. And it's no, basically we do it daily, and it's not like a big massive parasite cleanse. We're not having to do it every couple of months and then we're clearing out the parasites again. So we're doing it on a continuous basis every day.
Because the thing is, when you do a parasite cleanse, you've then got loads of dead parasites inside you.
And then you're basically allowing them to stack back up, and then you're going to do another cleanse, and then you stack. Whereas we're doing it in a way where we don't give them the chance to stack back up. We eat like papaya seeds, all of these things all help. But the nutraceuticals are massive, and the clapper and the belly button therapy tool, all of these things. And the belly button therapy tool alone is just a simple tool, and it basically puts your body back into a parasympathetic state, which releases dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin and endorphins into your body. Here, and basically it's just, you put it in your belly button and you do this for 10 minutes a day. You can do it as many times as you want, and it basically gives you a total rush in your body. It'll awaken you if you want to do it before you go to bed at night, and basically you'll get a cracking night's sleep because you're putting your body into the parasympathetic state, which is a healing state, and you work it around your belly button, and you just do it like that.
Your belly button's
the biggest portal,
reflexology point in your body,
and it puts like 72,000 or 52,000 neurons in your body, and it goes around every one of them and puts all the good chemicals into your body, and it heals you as well. So it does. So it heals, and it's a simple tool. It's like, and we get the link, and the link's in our bio, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a link in bio.
Link to the Doka Detox shop. You can buy these things, and then we've got the clapper. And we use these every day. The clappers, basically, you can use it for your lymph, how to clear your lymph. And you can use it. Like the other day there, I had a pain in my shoulder. I've been doing swimming every day, and I woke up and I pulled my neck, and I had a pain here, and I got Diane to do a bit of wolf non-surgical on it, and then I've just been clapping ever since. But the pain had went across the top of my back, and it was like burning pain. So I just started using the clapper on it every day, and I've been doing it every day, and it's totally away. I have no pain anymore or nothing. And like, you use it on your neck, use it anywhere in your body, anywhere you get pain, and it basically brings up all the toxins at your body as well. So it releases any toxins that are trapped under your skin or in your body. You use it everywhere. But you can use it to clear your lymph drainage under your arms, in here, your neck, behind your knees, all of your lymph drainage round about your gut, your groin. All of these, that'll clear out your lymph and totally clear it. And this is all the things that I used when I was recovering from sepsis. So I've used these daily ever since, and I've never been unwell since. And that's with the nutraceuticals as well. This is like the Doka Detox, iodine, black gold, black diamond, all of these things. Cleansing tea, daily cleansing tea. So I'm cleansing my body every day with these things, every day. And they're no expensive, they're no mega expensive. You don't need a lot of them, because they're high frequency, high vibrational stuff, and they really do work. And if you want to change your life, and I mean, I'm not here trying to sell people these things, I'm just here telling you, like, this was my journey, and this is the things that I used, and I healed myself totally. Physically, I healed esophagus problems, I healed all my gut issues, you name it. I mean, I was in a bad way. I mean, I was like I mean, you'd end up with urinary sepsis, and because that's how bad I was. I had so many problems going on with everything, and I've totally cleaned it all up. And then obviously I've done a lot of work on the multidimensional level as well, so it's about putting it all together, and that's it. And when you're doing these things, these are simple every day. You can do them in the morning, do them at night, do them for 5, you can do them as long as you want, for as little as you want, but 10, 20 minutes a day over
and they make you feel good.
They make you feel really, this makes you feel amazing.
It's not like a chore because you actually feel better, you feel more vibrant, more rejuvenated.
But you just need to be consistent with it as well, and if you were like me and I was at death's door, you need to be consistent every day for a year, at least a year. And that's taking the nutraceuticals. Don't think these things are quick fix and they're going to be healed in no time. They're a long term, and I've been taking them for the last 4 years now, or whatever it is, how long I've been on this healing journey, and I still take them because I want to maintain that balance in my body and keep the pH balance in my body. I don't want to become acidic, or keep myself alkaline, and these things all help. This will help. This helps you first thing in the morning, and you feel great. It totally gives you a body rush, and then like the last thing at night you'll go to sleep. If you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling any stress, any worry, any fear, use this, and I'll put all the good dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and
regulates your nervous
into your body.
system.
That's it. Parasympathetic healing state.
We do fast, yeah.
We do fast every day.
Intermittent fast, so we do 16 hours a day, and then we do extended fasts from time to time. So we just did a couple of days there, and again this ties in with what we're talking about the spiritual work and the multidimensional work. So sometimes when you're clearing multidimensional trauma and things like that, it can get quite heavy. You can feel a lot of darker energy, and again you can fall into these patterns of behaviour that don't serve you. Early on with you, I always go to the sugar and I'll start eating more sugar. I would say that's kind of like my last addiction, if you like. And what I realised was when I get into this and I'm clearing this out, I start to eat sugar. I want to eat sugar, and I'm just not as productive and all that kind of stuff. And so what I did the last time, just recently when it happened, was I thought I'm just going to fast. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to fast. I'm going to reset my body so that I don't crave this sugar. And as soon as I started fasting, I cleared out the trauma, the multidimensional trauma. And that's the guidance I got. You're clearing out addictive programming. So it's about reclaiming control. So when I was going through that, I was starting to revert back into old patterns of behaviour because I was, the program was coming up for clearance. I was craving the sugar. But then when I just said to myself, do you know what? I'm not going to get into this. I'm not going to start eating loads of sugar and feeling crap. I'm just going to fast. So I fasted only for 2 days. Mm-hmm. Fasted for 2 days, and since I started eating again, I've not had any sugar.
No cravings either.
No cravings. I'm not even as hungry because I went straight onto like juicing and eating well, eating healthy again.
Rebooted the body.
So it's about reclaiming control, and sometimes fasting is a really powerful tool for that because we are targeted a lot through the gut as well. And to be addicted and subservient.
And another thing was like last year, and we do coffee enemas as well. So last year I had bad toothache, and I went to the dentist and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, we can just rip the tooth out."
Hi Simone, thank you for joining us.
We can
lots of love, beautiful.
Bye Simone, thank you. And then they were like, "Oh, we can rip it out or do whatever else to it," and I was like, "No, I just went and done coffee enemas, and my pain went away." So just like when it comes to your teeth. This is when it's like another part of your body. This is showing you that it's something in your body is actually getting that sore, or it's getting that infected or whatever, and you need to go and clear out the other part of your body. It's not just about ripping your teeth out or getting fillings. And the toothache went away within 2 days. I've done 2 coffee enemas each day, one each day. And I mean, coffee enemas for me were one of the biggest healing things, and like. You
should do them. They're amazing.
You should definitely do them. And there was one of the biggest things for me on my journey. Totally cleanses out the liver. Totally regenerates your blood flow. Regenerates all the blood cells. Everything. And basically, once you get to a stage where you can hold it in for 15 minutes, and we do the ultimate coffee enema, which is the black gold and the coffee.
You should always do that. You should always do that.
So the black gold basically is a binder, and it takes all the heavy metals and all the poisons and all the toxins out. So when you're releasing all these things out your liver, they're not just sticking in your tract, you're colon or anything. The black gold's actually extracting them right out.
So a coffee enema is basically hot water, coffee, organic coffee, and we use black gold, which is a kind of, it's like a
humic and fulvic powder.
Acid, yeah.
Powder it is, it's powder.
We put that in a metal bucket and with hot water, and it's got a tube, and you basically put it up your back passage.
Yep.
And what you're doing is you're clearing out, it's about, I suppose, like colonic irrigation, only it doesn't go as high, but you're basically clearing out not only all the waste products and all the toxins, but you're also clearing your liver and your blood. And coffee enemas are also another very powerful way to take your power back. So if you are feeling like lots of sugar cravings and stuff like that, it comes from parasites as well. So it can be energetic parasites, it can be physical parasites in the body. So coffee enemas are a way of clearing that out of your system as well, because you want to be thinking about what you're putting in, but you also want to be clearing out as well, so that you're becoming the purest tempo, if you like. And what Mandy was saying as well is about, we do need to be working on all levels, and it's a thing in the spiritual community where it's all this focus on healing, and it's all focusing on, I think Gary's a way to get it, Emma, to show you. Are you a way to get it? Yeah, he's going to show you. I think it's, there's so much focus on this healing. We need to heal, and we need to heal our traumas, and we need to heal this, and we need to heal that. And yes, we do, but at the same time, we need to heal our physical bodies, because if your physical body's fucked, then it doesn't matter how spiritual you are, or how tapped in you are, you're not going to be well and healthy, you're going to be sick.
Aye.
And if you're sick, that's going to show in your field. It's going to yeah, Ellie's like that, we could do it together.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes we do it in date night.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, it's like all of these things you can get them on the website, the Dog Detox website, the link's in the bio, so it is, so you can get all of these on there. And this is the coffee enema bucket. So basically it's just a bucket with a tube on it, and the other end goes up your bum, and you put the water in here, you fill it up with water, a wee spoonful of coffee. Organic coffee is best. I mean, it's like, make sure it's good coffee that you're getting. And then the black gold, you put a spoonful of black gold in, and this stuff's amazing. And basically that's like multiplies.
It eliminates heavy metals, and
it's good for weight loss,
parasites,
inflammation.
So it tells you on it.
You name it.
And viruses. So basically that
takes all the heavy metals and toxins and any poisons and any parasites and everything. It's multifaceted, the black gold, and I've been using, this is the things that I've used since I had the sepsis, and I use every day, and the iodine as well, which is...
So the link, Mandy, it'll take you to the product.
The infinite iodine as well, which we take every day as well.
But the link will take you to the product, so you can get the products through the link, but if you're looking for more information, you can go on the Doc of Detox website.
Or the BHN app,
yeah.
the Braveheart Nation app.
Which is free, it's a free app.
And if you go on the Indigo Blue Star Health Empowerment page, which is on Facebook, that's my page, or our page, you go on there, I post things on there, and I posted a link to the PDGF-3 for the Perfect Day manual, which is nearly a 500 page manual on how to create the perfect day and how to heal nearly everything you could possibly imagine, and it's free. You just need to download it. It's a free PDG. And you can do that, and like I say, I've not really tried a lot of products, because the ones that I did try with this when I started healing totally worked, and that's it. But you need, it's not a medical cure. It's a long term. You need to be prepared to remember that how long it's took you to get into that position where your body is that way. and it must have took me years to get to the position where my gut was destroyed, and then it's took me years, and I do it because I want to do it, and I love the products, and they're amazing, and they're high frequency, high vibrational. There's no shit in them at all. They're totally like all organic. Everything is like totally. It's like amazing stuff. It's the best stuff I've found, and the iodine for me was brilliant as well. Like I've never had a flu or a cold or anything since I've been taking iodine. It helps with your lymph drainage if you get any lymph problems. Like a lot of women have got lymph problems. It will help with that. It will kill viruses in 15 seconds. Basically, toxins, anything.
And we take all of these daily, every day. It is about investing in yourself. We talk about this a lot.
You only need minimal. You don't need a lot like this. You only need 5 sprays in the back of your throat. You get a wee spray bottle, 5 sprays in the back of your throat every day. Depending how bad you are or how sick you are, you can eat, and you can take as much as you want. You can't overdose on it. You can give it to children, anything. Same as the black gold. You can use this in plants, animals, and I used to give this to my dogs in their dinner, and I had a plant that was dying in my house, and I basically put a spoonful in and filled it with water, and the plant came back to life. It's absolutely fascinating stuff, and it comes naturally from the ground. You can make them velvet powder. It's the best I've ever seen.
So the link, if you're looking for products, the link is in our bio. If you go into Linktree, it's under Doc of Docs Nutraceuticals. They're called Nutraceuticals. And if you're looking for more information,
you can contact us.
Gary's got a Facebook page, Indigo Blue Star Health Empowerment. That's for the health side of things. And also the Doc of Detox website, it's just docofdetox.com.
And there's
a BHN app.
It's free, it's a free app as well, and it's got loads of information. It's got master classes on there that you can go and do for nothing. It's got like £10,000 worth of master classes on there if you want.
Loads of free stuff.
And they're all free. There's lots of free stuff. And if you want on your healing, and all of these things totally transformed my life. And I can't recommend them enough for people, and like always do your own research with all these things. Always look into things, because never ever just trust anybody's word on it. But and that's the thing, just always do your research. Me personally, I was in that bad a state. I was guided to the Dog of Detox. I was totally guided. He just came up on Facebook one day through the pandemic and stuff, and that's when I was suffering, and I just knew I was to buy the stuff, and I thought, okay, I'm buying it, and I done it, and I started doing it daily, and it was like totally transformed everything. I've never been unwell since, never even had the flu, and I used to get the flus all the time. My immune system was wrecked, so it was, and I've been like that since I was a wee boy. I had tuberculosis when I was young, all of these things. I've always had these kind of problems with the flu and all that, and I've never had anything.
Yeah, there's definitely amazing products, and we're on a really deep physical healing journey now, and really focusing this year on our physical health and getting into prime condition.
If anybody wants to know any more, just message me, and I can put you in the right direction on the Indigo Blue Star Health Empowerment page on Facebook.
Hi Vicky, welcome in. It's lovely to have you on the live. So we do readings. We tend to do soul readings. So we do soul readings where we activate your blueprint as well. So that's the thing I think Ellie's telling you about.
Divine Blueprint.
It's called the Divine Plan, and it's a soul blueprint reading and activation session, and it's on offer just now. There's £50 off. So you can check the link in the bio as well. You can book there. It's under Sacred Offerings, or send us a little message. But yeah, that's the reading that we tend to do. Most of our other sessions are kind of soul retrieval, activation, clearing out your light body, removing implants, devices, that kind of thing. But that would be our main reading. But it includes a psychic reading, but it's a lot more than that. It's about your soul's path and your mission in this lifetime. And your blueprint is basically your higher self. It's your 12th dimensional higher self, your higher consciousness, where all your keys, your codes, your DNA template is stored, and we basically activate that in the session and help to bring that online. So it really brings on your remembrance of who you truly are and why you're here and what magic you're here to create. So
Yep.
yeah, definitely get in touch. We would love to co-create with you if that feels aligned. And so we just wanted to come on, and we went away on a tangent as usual.
We're going for 20 minutes.
20 minutes we were coming over. And we were starting off with the message
It was MK Ultra.
was about the MK Ultra, and it was about the, you know, repeating patterns and cycles, that if people are finding that they're falling into these repeating patterns and cycles of behaviour, and, you know, always look at a multidimensional cause for these things as well. And, you know, we've done a lot of work around it and worked in the quantum field and realised, you know, there's a lot of energy reversals, there's a lot of MK Ultra, there's a lot of mind control implants and things that are actually keeping us stuck in these loops of behaviour, and it can all be reversed. It's just that you've got to, I suppose, clear out the shit to be able to tap into that higher consciousness so that you can remember who you truly are. And we can all do this stuff. But we do have a container. Just mention this actually before we go. So loops of behaviour. I think we all are, aren't we? That's the thing.
Yeah, because we're programmed.
It's all part of the programming, but we do have a container that's starting on the 13th of February. It's Galactic Air School. It's Light Language, Quantum, Healing, Activation and Mastery. So in that container, it's going to be running for 6 months. It's online. We teach the skills, the tools, the techniques to be able to work with ease in the quantum field, to be able to use light language as a tool, not just for healing others, but for your own reality creation and for your own, to download your own Akashic records and remembrance of who you truly are. We activate your light body, we activate your channel so that you're able to connect in and receive guidance and activation. We activate your ability to work in the quantum field. So much that we're doing it in there. So it starts
Light
on
language.
Yeah, we activate your light language if you're not already speaking it, and we'll show you how to use light language in the most powerful way to actually create the reality that you desire and the experience that you desire. And everything that we share in there is what we did to create the reality that we desired. So we desired to come to Mexico, we desired to have a different lifestyle, we desired to have a lifestyle that's and live in an area that's more conducive to health. So with the sunshine, with the food, the people, the frequency, the vibration. But we created all of this in the quantum field. Everything that we are experiencing now, we were working on the past few years. So we share the tools and techniques so that people can start to reclaim ownership of their own reality. They can break free of this mind control programs of MK Ultra. They can start to get a deeper understanding of where these energy reversals are and how to get to the root cause of them, so that you're not repeating cycles of behaviour that don't serve you, and you're really reclaiming your power and your sovereignty in all levels, and for good as well, so that it's not just for
It's not coming back.
a period of time and then you're back to square one again. This is about you reclaiming who you truly are and embodying all the wisdom and knowledge and inner gnosis that is available to us all. It's available to us all, but it's down to you to make that step to want to reclaim who you truly are and want to reclaim your full template and your gifts and abilities. So that starts on the 13th of February. We do have some spaces remaining. We have got a lovely group of souls lining up now. They're all starting to come in. It's going to be an amazing group, and it runs for 6 months. And obviously you get intensive mentorship guidance in there. There's mentorship. It's a bit over your head. So we hear that a lot.
I hear that a lot.
People will say, I don't understand, it's a bit over my head. But what you need to realise is...
nothing's over your head.
Yeah, that's another program, another belief system. And when we work in the container, or when we share information, even on lives or whatever, it's an energetic transmission. So the energetic transmission holds the keys and codes that you need in order to... Everything that we say will be...
An activation.
An activation, but it's also relating to who's coming on the live. Mm-hmm. So whoever's coming on the live is where we're getting the downloads of what we've to say, what we've to share, what we've to speak about. So although you might find like it's a bit over my head, on an energetic frequency level, it's resonating on some level. And if that's all you need to get, just come out there live and get some keys and codes or some activation or some remembrance, and that's beautiful. That's what we're here to do. We're here to serve.
Yay!
But we're also here to live a beautiful life. We're all here to live a beautiful life, have a beautiful experience. We're not here to suffer.
Yeah, we're all here to break out of the control.
Break out of the control, the MK Ultra, like, you know, the time for suffering.
The programming.
Being in loops of behaviour that doesn't serve you are over now. Like, really, it's down to you. Is that the life you want to lead? Do you want to just keep going in a revolving hamster wheel where you're never actually getting to where you want to be? Or do you want to take ownership of your experience? If so, we would love to help you.
Love to co-create with you.
Co-create within whatever way feels most aligned to you. Get in touch with us, check out our offerings, and if it's just to get some information from the live, then that's good as well. MK Ultra we spoke about a bit earlier, but that's the thing with these lives, you can't rewind.
No, they're not recorded.
It's a specific still we went live for 90 minutes. Specific type of mind control. It's a type of mind control where we're basically
programmed at every level of our life.
But there's an element of it of a rescuer. So it's like we're traumatised, tortured, traumatised to fragment our soul, to fragment our spirit. And then somebody will come in as a rescuer and they'll show us a bit of love and affection and, you know, make us feel a bit better, and then we develop this kind of bond to that person, a bit like Stockholm syndrome, where you think like, oh, they're good, and even though they're not good for you, you're still bonded, you're trauma bonded.
Feel like the saviour, they're the saviour.
Aye.
And you see it happening a lot in the world. So and that's the thing, but it's done on a deeper level, it's done on a more inconspicuous level, where it's been done on a multidimensional level as well, forever. And this is where it comes from. So
that individual will still be mind controlling you, but you've got this kind of affection and bond towards them. Loyalty, but they're really a handler. So what they're doing is they're preventing you from stepping into your power and preventing you from becoming the highest and best version of yourself. So what we were talking about, Nikki, at the start of the live was it Nikki? Vicky, sorry, Vicky. Was how sometimes when we have repeating behaviours and patterns of behaviour, you know, like maybe we're eating really well and we're going to the gym and we're feeling good and we're feeling in control, and then that just goes and it repeats in a cycle or addiction or whatever it is. A lot of the times, most of the times, probably most of the time, it's coming from mind control, it's coming from other timelines, other realities where our consciousness is still being controlled by an outside force, and it's manifesting in our physical reality. So that's why if it's alcohol or drugs or whatever it is, that's why we have this feeling of not being able to control what we're putting in our bodies, and also the fragmentation, the trauma, the soul fragmentation. It leaves us open to negative entities, negative beings coming in, and they can start to control our thoughts and things. So it's a very much a spiritual disease. It's not just a physical problem. Yeah, it's a spiritual disease. I know, Ellie, I've got your message. I'm going to get back to you soon, lovely. It's a spiritual disease, and we can work on these things on a multidimensional level to clear them out and help you manage them in the physical reality. So, and
the thing you're saying about this alcohol,
I'm going to go to the toilet.
You've got to look at the root of the cause with the alcohol, and it's not just on this physical realm or physical dimension that you look at the root cause, or it's a trauma or a grief, or it's something that's happened to me, it's a breakup or anything, it's a friendship or something that's like traumatic in this life. And a lot of these things are connected to traumas and multidimensional levels. And like the most 99% of the people who are here, who are very highly gifted and highly multidimensional beings, will all come across traumas and grief and all of these things, and addictions and alcohol, and it's basically that's part of the control system that we live in, because it's to keep us stuck and keep us not ascending into the beautiful beings that we are. So it's all about reclaiming all of these things and breaking free of the programming. And I know it sounds like very, very hard, and how do you start that? And you start by researching going online and just looking at things and looking these things up. You go down a rabbit hole, if you would like, and just checking things out, and then you start to find your tribe, find people that resonate with you, find people who are on the spiritual awakening, and who can assist with these things. And it's all about, and we've done it ourselves. We've done it ourselves first and foremost, and then we've done it with other people who have assisted us on this path. But it's all about a kind of a solo path when you're on this journey, and it's about releasing yourself from these ties and these programs.
And everything we speak about on lives, on our sessions,
we've done it.
It's all part of our experience. So everything that we speak about, we have gone through, we have alchemised, we have integrated, we have embodied.
True, Emma. Start loving yourself.
And I was going to say that as well. It's about self-love, and self-love, it can be put out in the spiritual community as something that's quite wishy-washy, isn't it? It's about, love yourself, take some time and, go to a healing circle or do that. And all of these things are great, but true self-love is about not putting things in your body that are bad for you. Foods. If you truly loved yourself, you wouldn't be poisoning yourself with certain foods and alcohol, drugs. And for myself, I had years of addiction as part of my experience, and it was all down to like a lack of self-love and self-loathing. And when I look back at what I used to do to myself and how my addiction was, I actually really hated myself, because I'm like, to do what I'd done to myself and to take, big volumes of painkillers, knowing that they could affect my health, that I could die, that I could, do my liver damage, all of these things. How much self-loathing must you have to do that to yourself? But we don't loathe ourselves. What it is other energies are at play, and they're making you repeat the pattern. They're making you think that you're worthless, and that you want to drink and that you want to take drugs and that we want to eat shit. And I'm glad you're crying, Vicky, because crying is a release of emotion,
and it's also a remembrance as well.
Yeah,
you're remembering that these things. You're remembering that you're a multidimensional being, and you can turn it around.
And I suppose that's what we want to speak about, because we feel that you can work on anything on a multidimensional level, whether it be addiction, whether it be symptoms of ADHD, whether it be mental emotional issues. We have worked through all of that on a multidimensional level, dealing with the spiritual and emotional aspects of that.
Physical, everything is like dealing with it all. It's like a 10-pronged attack on ourselves to come out of this, come out of the doldrums, come out of the shit that life throws at us. Then that's even just turning off your television. It's as simple as things like that. Stop speaking to, or not even stop, but just distance yourself from toxic people, toxic situations, just getting into toxic conversations, all of these things. All of these things, you don't realise, toxic energy, people who are always moaning about their life and how bad their life is, and people who come to you with all their problems and stuff. And it's all about just taking a big step back from everything and going on this beautiful, beautiful journey. And Emma had to do a T there, was just like, start loving yourself, and that's how you start loving yourself, by saying no to certain things and just detaching from all the things that are making you really unhappy. And that, there's a lot of things out there that come under the guise of happiness, and that is alcohol, drugs, television, programs, all of these things. And remember, television is a program. It's their television.
Clue in the name.
There's a clue in the name. Television programming. And it's like, so they're telling you a lie about a vision, and they're programming you to tell you that lie. Once you start to see beyond everything, you start to like, wow, you open up, and you start, alcohol is alcohol. It's ghouls you're putting in, spirits into your body, which is negative demonic spirits you're putting into your body. And this is why you're feeling like the way you are. You're feeling in the repetitive cycle of, I'll drink more alcohol because it makes me feel good. It doesn't make you feel good because you're getting possessed with these spirits that are in the spirit. That's why it's called spirits.
And also the mind control programs and the energy reversals.
Easier to get in when you're negatively polarised.
And what Emma's saying about the ADHD, so with ADHD, the people that are most likely to get diagnosed with ADHD are gifted souls, people. Advanced souls that have got spiritual gifts and abilities, but they just don't know how to manage them, and they don't know how to stay grounded in their body, so they display these symptoms of ADHD, and that label has been created
because at a higher
to
frequency.
medicate these souls. That's what that label is.
Because they're living in this 3D world, and they're in a higher frequency, so everything doesn't resonate with them.
Yeah.
And it's because like a lot of them maybe don't speak or whatever, and it's because they're telepathic as well.
And when you say getting help for the ADHD, you're then introducing another chemical, another
petroleum-based chemical into your body, which every pill is made by has got a petroleum base. Every tablet you take, so you're putting petrol into your body. Yeah, every one you take, and they're only numbing it. They're not actually fixing the problem. They're just numbing out the problem. It's like painkillers. We take a painkiller, it goes to neurons in your brain and numbs out that part of whatever it is, and that sends a computer system sends it to your whatever part of the body. Your body's got pain, and it shuts it off from here. It doesn't shut it off for the pain, so you've still got the injury, you've still got the scar tissue, you've still got whatever else it is that's in there.
So does it mean medication, just to understand? Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's a label, it's a diagnosis that's been created that will resonate with spiritual people, because the spiritual people who can't deal with their own gifts and their own abilities are the ones who are going to have these symptoms. So you need to realise, I spoke earlier about being a nurse and being in the medical profession for 20 years and waking up to that system and realising that I had been programmed, that all the uni I went to, all the courses I did was just programming to get me to believe certain things. And when I had my awakening, that was one of the things where it really came to light, that I realised, like, I'm not helping people here. Like, because I was a nurse prescriber, I was an advanced nurse practitioner, and all I was doing was prescribing medication for elderly people, and I was going into care homes and the carers just wanted medication. If people weren't sleeping, they wanted medication. If they were agitated, they wanted medication. If they were angry, they wanted medication. And I started to, like, question this, and I was like, why am I prescribing all these medication for these old people who aren't getting any sunlight, they aren't getting out. During COVID, they weren't getting to see their families. So I'm like, obviously they're going to be emotional and they're going to be agitated and they're not going to be sleeping. And it really awakened me to the true nature of the medical profession. And you are taught to diagnose people and to treat those symptoms with medications that are toxic, that are harmful, that are, in some cases, lethal. So while I understand, you're looking to understand yourself better, I totally get that, and get an understanding of why you are the way you are, or why life's been the way it's been. We can do all of this ourselves by tapping into our spiritual gifts and our abilities and our higher self and our higher consciousness. Our higher self, our higher consciousness is the only guide we need. Source is the only guide we need. All of these other organisations,
part of the system.
They're part of this matrix system of the MK Ultra and the mind control that we're talking about. They're all part of it. So
they're part of the journey to make us think that we can't fix ourselves, and we have to always look outside ourselves for everything, every answer. We're clueless. We can't think for ourselves. We can't do anything for ourselves. It's like anything that's happening in the world is like. It's like we need to always look out. We need always the government to help us. They need them to make decisions for us. All of these things. Whereas I'm sure 99% of the planet would go about their day just being law-abiding citizens and doing whatever it is they need to do. And like you're saying about ADHD, I had all these symptoms, ADHD and bipolar and all of this thing, and mental health, and you name it. I had everything you can imagine, and I've totally transformed it. By the multidimensional, the taking the nutraceuticals, all of these things, and drinking more water. Just drinking 2 to 3 litres of water a day.
What you do?
I'll totally it'll stop your brain frying.
What a lot of people don't realise is the symptoms of ADHD, a lot of them come from soul loss and soul fragmentation. So we spoke about this earlier as well. So when you're traumatised and you've suffered a lot in life, your soul starts to split and starts to fragment, and then you become really ungrounded, you become disassociated, you start to become disconnected from who you truly are, and it's because of soul loss and soul fragmentation. So ADHD can come from that. It can come from your soul being fractured, and we healed that. We healed that through our own work, through our own union, because when I met Gary, he had 5 or 6 different personalities, and I'm not joking. There was 5 or 6 different personalities that would emerge, and they would all be different, and I started to realise...
Ungrounded.
I started to realise, like, this guy's got multiple personalities. Why is this? 1 minute he's this person, 1 minute he's that person, the next minute he's this person, and they were all different. And what we learned through our journey and our twin flame union is that it was all because his soul was so fractured that he had all these different aspects of his consciousness coming in, because he wasn't grounded in his knowing of who he truly was, because he was so fragmented. He'd been through so much trauma, he'd suffered so much, there was so much darkness that came into his life. So this was all part of the ADHD as well, and we healed that through our union. I could quite confidently say that we healed what would be called Gary's ADHD.
Bipolar, you name it. I would have been labelled with everything.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And people would say to me, so I'd never had a diagnosis, but lots of people used to say to me, you've got this, you've got that, you've got this, like, you ever been tested? And I'm like, no, I'm just mental. That's what I used to say to people, I'm just mad, in a good way. In Glasgow, that's a good thing, you can be mental. People say, oh, you're mental, and you're like, in a good way. So there you go. There you go.
I'm always called neurodivergent. Yeah, it's like a label that people get now, isn't it? And then it becomes their whole personality.
Yep. And I never went for the label for myself. I just went for the healing side of it. And once I realised the multidimensional side was the biggest healing. So yeah. That was the biggest healing on to bring everything into balance again. So like the quantum, people can scoff at it, they can laugh at it. It totally transformed and healed and saved my life, and that's where doing the other stuff as well, all together. And like, but if it wasn't for me going on this journey, this healing spiritual journey,
Simone, that's amazing. She just got a notification that she can go live, so she feels the live helped to shift. Oh, that's amazing!
Brilliant. Superb.
Yeah, there's maybe some wee keys and codes there that you've received, because I feel the type 3 connection. Brilliant. So that's absolutely beautiful. Yay! Looking forward to your lives. Everybody follow Simone if you're not already. She's an amazing energy weaver and healer. She's got such a beautiful frequency, and she's going to be going live soon.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah, and like when you're saying, like, people say to you you're neurodivergent, I mean, I had that as well. I used to get, you're absolutely mental, and what was it, somebody said to me one day, you're absolutely mental, and I went, well, why? And they says, you just don't give a fuck. And I was like, right, does that make you mental? Does that make you mental that you don't give a fuck and you don't conform?
People said to you, you were mental 100 years ago, you'd have been locked up.
Well, exactly. That's what.
So that's the thing. It's like people say, "Oh,
it was alive." Oh, that's amazing.
Mental health.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. Yeah. So I don't listen to people, Vicky. At the end of the day, don't let people
tell
you who you are, or give you some label, or tell you there's something wrong with you. Like, we're all beautiful,
multidimensional, amazing beings here on a fun-filled adventure to live life to the maximum and love life and love ourselves and just go for it and just like fuck everybody else. Who cares? Like, nobody else is going to step into your shoes or step into your feet and walk your road or whatever. Just like everything else is like just white noise. Just fuck it and fuck everybody else and just go on your journey of self-love, self-reclamation, and to bring back this beautiful being that you are. A wee bit of a rant there, but
I love that.
There you go.
That was beautiful. And reclaim your power.
Power back.
So we're going to go, because we've been on quite a while, but the message today is reclaim your power, reclaim your sovereignty. Look at where you're repeating certain cycles of behaviour, patterns of behaviour, and start to look at where are they really coming from at the really deepest source level, and realise that a lot of this is coming from outside influence. It's coming from timelines of mind control, negative interference, darker forces. You're not powerless, you're not worthless, and this doesn't have to be your life and your experience. You have the ability to break free and to heal from. I'm so glad you're here, Vicky. Please give us a wee follow as well, and get in touch if you want to chat more or co-create in any way as well. We would love to assist you with this more, but take your power back. We are not powerless. Don't give your power away to some outside source that is controlling you and that is making you repeat cycles of behaviour that are not good for you. Nourish yourself, love yourself, do things that are good for your body, and let's just break free of this programming,
this MK Ultra programming, because that's what we're all programmed.
We're victims no more.
Yes. We've never been victims, but we're... Yes!
Here we fucking go!
Who the fuck are we?
Thank you all for joining us and listening to us, and hopefully you took a lot out of that.
Yes, thank you.
Love you all. Thank you.
Bye. Hasta luego.
Hasta mañana. What does that mean?
Tomorrow.
Bye. You need to hang up.
I don't know how to do it.
You do. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Love yous.